We have got North Carolina head coach Mack Brown and quarterback Drake Maye here with us. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second as we count down to it, because I was enjoying your faces as you got to watch it back. Drake, I want to start with you, though, and Coach, I want to get you in on this as well. This time last year, we were talking about a quarterback battle, and then we all saw how that went the last of the year. You were answering all the questions about it. You were experiencing it. Now people on the outside talking about Heisman. What does this year feel like right now for you, Drake, heading into the season?
First, let me say I made a good choice.
You did, Coach. You did.
Facts.
Let me say second,
Those
it
are
wasn't
facts.
ever a battle. Go ahead.
Those are facts.
I think, I was telling people all day, fast forward and, flipping back, rewinding it to a year back, I was battling each and every day, grinding it out day in, day out, trying to get the edge. Then got the nod about 10 days before, and, it's been a fast past year. It's been a blessing. All things have come, and started with Coach Brown, his trust in me, and, last season we had some ups and downs. Won the Coastal. Didn't put our best foot forward in the ACC championship. That's our goal, to get back there, and start off with against South Carolina here in Charlotte. So we're excited, getting ready for fall camp, and excited for it.
How differently has this offseason been for you? I mean, you're the guy, it's your team.
Oh, yeah.
The most difficult position in sports is quarterback.
No doubt.
And everyone looks to you.
Yeah, no doubt. The quarterback position is special. I think, the best thing, for going into this year is I got a year under my belt. The leadership role is different. Last year, you kind of going in fall camp, and, me and Jacoby are kind of, sharing the leadership role. And now, being the guy, leader of the offense, leader of the team, got a new role, and everybody's, listening to me, and I'm trying to command them, and just do my best job of, leading the guys and be a player-led team. That's what they say, the best teams are player-led, and helping that role with, guys like Sed and John and Corey Gaynor and stuff like that. So just having that same mentality of, leading the guys.
Well, Coach Brown, you've been used to being in this position, having a quarterback that's up for the Heisman, Vince Young, Colt McCoy, Sam Howell, those kind of players. Now you have Drake Maye. How do you temper the expectation for your team? Because obviously Drake gets all the attention, but you still got to make sure the guys around the team and this guy are ready to go out there and play.
EJ, you just heard him. I may not show up. I may just let Drake run the team and do that. We're lucky that he's very confident. He's one of the most fierce competitors I've ever coached, and the players love him. And they watch him compete every day with them, whether it's on the ping pong table or out in drills. And they know that. He made an unbelievable statement last year to me that you two know. And I said, you need to step up more. And this was this time of the year. I said, you need to lead more. And he said, I'm not the guy. He said, you got to be the guy, Coach. I'm not the starter. We don't have a starter. And that made so much sense to me. And when he did take over, he took over. And he's so much more comfortable now than he was then with handling the team, because he's a guy. And he's proven it. He's a proven guy. And he understands if we had beaten Georgia Tech and NC State, he would have been in New York. So we got to win.
Right.
It's about winning. It's not about hype. It's not about how many times he gets on TV or how many interviews he does. You have to win.
That's right. Coach, last night I was looking at the itinerary, and I thought it was just going to be you here and not Drake with you.
You were disappointed,
No,
but we got it fixed.
I'm excited.
Now I see why you got Drake here.
So now my question is this one that you might want to pass on, but I was going to ask a comparison of Sam Howell and Drake Maye. Can you do that with him standing here?
Yeah, they're very similar. They're best friends. And they're both really positive, and they take negative things and turn them into positives. Drake's probably harder on himself than Sam, and that's something Drake and I have to work on. I got to do the same. I'm too hard on me.
Yeah.
So we gotta learn from things we mess up instead of letting them beat us down. But when you look at these two, they both were great high school players, but Sam didn't get drafted where we want him to or where he wanted to. And I called Sam right after the draft, and I said, I'm sorry. And he says, Coach, this is a blessing. He said, I love the coach. He was at Charlotte, and they're struggling at quarterback. I couldn't have gone to a better place.
Right.
It's not about money. It's about the best place for me, and then year two is starting.
Right.
That's the way this one is, too. They're going to take things, and they're going to put it on them. They're never going to blame anybody else. They're never going to point to anybody else. They're going to demand others give them respect and work. but they're just so much alike on the field.
Right.
This one's taller, easier to see.
Right.
Both of them are good runners. Both of them have great arms. Both of them have great releases. Both of them compete. Sam's a competitive sucker now.
Yeah.
He will fight you. So we're just so blessed to have them back to back. There's not much difference in the two.
Amazing for you, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's nice, and it's nice to have those guys. Drake, how have you gotten better, man, this offseason? You talked about how you didn't finish the way you wanted to. When you were on, you were on.
Yes, sir.
How have you kind of guaranteed that those last 4 games will never happen again to you?
Yeah, I mean, you can't guarantee anything. I think, nowadays the great thing about college football, you got to show up every week. In 1 week you can't, be a no-show. You got to show up every week. Everybody's, getting good, and anybody can beat you. So I think the main thing with me, first off, the big thing with me, leadership-wise, leading this team, having this new role, wanting to improve leadership-wise. When adversity hits, they're going to lead to the quarterback. They're going to look at you. We got to be there leadership-wise. Obviously, quarterback, you're always trying to study the game. You can never study the game enough. Seeing how teams play me at the end of the year versus how they play me at the beginning of the year. Seeing better plays, and negative plays, hurt the football team. Turnover ratio, Coach Brown talks about turnover ratio all the time. It's ways I can affect the football, and at the end of the day, just give my team the best chance to win. So I think leadership-wise, looking at negative plays and like little footwork stuff, and obviously fine-tuning things like me and EJ were just talking about that I always need to do in the offseason.
But Drake, as far as the offseason, who on the defense is kind of giving you fits, or you've seen improvements on that side of the football throughout the spring?
Yeah, first off, I think with Coach Chiswick and Coach Warren, another year under their belt, I'm kind of seeing their personnel. Elijah Huzzies came in at defensive back. I'm always seeing him batting down some of my balls. You haven't seen that much here lately. Now you hadn't intercepted one yet, but he's knocked it down a few
Bat
times.
it down, detailed. There you go.
Power and said, the way they if you see the football, they're always going to be around it. That linebacker duo, I think it's the best in the country. They do a great job, and up front D-line, they got so many guys rolling in and out. Obviously Rucker is kind of the anchor. He's making plays, giving us fits, but I think they're getting so much better, and it's good. I think we'll have some good competition in fall camp, and that'll lead us into the first week.
Coach, just staying on the defense, what gives you the faith that the defense is going to turn it around and do what it needs to get done this season?
Coach, there's a lot of things. Number one, we had an awful game against App State. It was so hot that fourth quarter, they had an awful game too.
Yeah.
It was 2 bad defenses.
Yeah, right.
We got the credit, but both of them were bad. When you give up 63 and 61,
yes.
And then Notre Dame absolutely lined up and just whipped us. It wasn't pretty. After that, we got better. So we made progress at the end of last year.
Right.
The narrative was already made, so nobody changed.
Right.
And I know when I was sitting in this chair, I'd make my notes.
Oh, I know.
They're bad on defense. Drake's good.
Yeah.
And I got 24 teams I got to talk about. So what about North Carolina? They're bad on defense, and Drake's good. So it didn't
Right.
change,
Sure.
and we got no credit. But Gene being out 5 years, Gene Chiswick as coordinator, he's so much more comfortable now than he was. A lot of changes in 5 years on offenses, going faster. And he wasn't ready for that, so it caught him off guard a little bit. So he is better now by himself. We hire a guy that's best friends and coached with Charlton Warren in the secondary, so they're better. They're working better together. And then everybody's back. We got 7 starters back. We got some transfers that came in that really help us, and they got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
You can only be told you're bad so many times without it bothering you.
That's right.
And they are fully aware that they are bad. So that's the narrative, and they want it changed.
Good.
Coach, how about the run game? You and I talked a couple of weeks ago, and you just said that's got to be a point of emphasis. I know your offensive coordinator you've brought in. That's what he's been able to do. Are you excited for that addition and that mindset shift?
Yeah, we've got a great running back room. You 3 know that the running game's quarterback's best friend. We've had too many sacks. We've had too much pressure. Well, when you drop back every time, it's hard to block those real good ones, especially if you don't get somebody to help the one that can't block him. You can't just say, we couldn't block him. I mean,
Something like that, yeah.
that didn't help us.
You get simpler coverages too.
There's no question. So we're going to be more like we were in the first 2 years. We're going to be more downhill. We're going to be more physical. We got the good running back room. They believe in what we're doing. It's simple, but it's effective. And I'm really excited about it, and it's going to help us as a football team.
Drake, what's that been like for you, getting to know Coach Lindsey? I know you had such a great relationship with Coach Longo and helped you develop so much. What have you seen from him that's helped you?
Yeah, I think right off the bat, me and Coach Lindsey kind of hit it off. Just people he's coached in the past, guys like Nick Mullins, Jared Stidham, he's the proof's in the pudding. He's coached guys like that and guys that are playing on in the NFL, and that's my aspirations. And also, kind of the main thing, Coach Lindsey, he's been hard on me, which I want. I want to be coached and don't want to, be treated different than the other guys. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to do everything right. That's the great thing about Coach Lindsey. He's going to tell me when I'm wrong, tell me when I'm taking the wrong drop or the wrong read. So that's the best thing I think about Coach Lindsey. I'm excited to see what we got this season.
But Drake, 2 of your receivers are now in the league.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to get some other receivers to kind of get to your same level. Are you guys on the same page? How have those guys progressed over the offseason?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think we had some key guys like Gavin, Kobe, JJ that made some plays, stepped up last year when Antoine and Josh, were out, and got some transfers in, Tez and Nate. They're going to be great additions, and we got that tight end room. They got 3 guys in there that are going to make plays. So I'm excited for what we got. Just got to be more patient, check it down when I need to. Don't need to get it all in one play. So just use our weapons and take what the defense gives us, not hone in on a couple guys.
And I do know when you got a great quarterback, you got a chance.
I don't know about that. You got a great coach, you got a chance. Great coach, you got a chance.
Always got a
What
chance.
is Drake, what does the extra work look like, man, that you put in with
Yeah.
those new receivers coming
No
in,
doubt.
with some of the younger guys that are having to step up? Because I know that there's so much that happens that's organized that we have the ability to do, but I know there's another level
No
as a
doubt.
player that you have to do as well.
Yeah, I think 2 things. I think the summer session with the whole offense, we're out there running plays on our own, getting the young guys going, make sure they're lining up in the right formations, the easy stuff. And then the extra layers, getting my guys, my receivers, my tight ends. I had multiple times where I'd text in the group chat, last year or 2 years ago, I'd text guys and 1 or 2 of them would come out, and now, all of them are coming out. All of them are out there. They're asking me to go get work. That rarely happens. I'm always the one, hey, come catch some, and they're asking me, let's go get some work. That's the stuff you love to see from your teammates.
And we're challenging our guys, quarterbacks and receivers against air should never have a ball on the ground.
That's right, never.
Ever. And that's what we're trying to get to now. Until we get there, we're not going to be where we want to be.
We've been talking about it all day. Sorry to interrupt you, Coach, but we've got a minute and a half till we finally see this episode 1 of Carolina football, the All Access. The camera's following you around all the time. What was it like?
Yeah, it was fun. I think, one of the best parts is me and my center, Corey Gaynor, at breakfast would be a good clip. So it was fun. They weren't too much in our business, but they got a good shot. So.
Coach, for you?
For me, football players are seen with helmets all the time. You don't get to see their personalities. You don't get to see who they are. This is a great opportunity for us to showcase our guys as people.
And you've gotten a sneak peek at it already.
I've gotten a sneak peek, and it's really good.
I've got one thing. Did you hit it from 80?
I don't know. That's for y'all to figure out. I don't know.
The behind the scenes is always
sure
the
looked
most
like it to me.
fun part. It did look like it. We appreciate the time today.